Hey, Penn Staters, I'm Paul Clifford, CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association, and we are out here at Nittanyville with Matt Solomon, who's the president of Nittanyville this year. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, Paul. How are you?
We're doing great. We're excited to be out here at Nittanyville. First of all, tell folks a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What are you studying? What year are you?
Yeah, so I'm a fourth-year student from Long Island, New York. I'm majoring in criminology and minoring in political science, and then I'm going to law school next year. So
That's fantastic. Tell folks who might not be as familiar with Paternoville or Nittanyville, as it's now known, what goes on here? When do you all get out here? What's the setup look like? And kind of what's the vibe when they're out here?
yeah, absolutely. So what Nittanyville is it's basically a tent city that pops up outside Gay Day at Beaver Stadium every Wednesday night to Saturday morning before home football games. And then for the whiteout, which was Auburn this year, we do a week-long camp out from Monday night to Saturday morning. Basically, what we do as Nittanyville is just kind of get everybody fired up for the big home games on Saturday. It's one of the coolest traditions in college football. We have hundreds of students every week come and sleep out in tents, and we do activities such as trash can football tournaments. The football team and athletic department brings over pizza. We watch other games, movies, have drum lines, sing like Penn State songs, the alma mater, work with a bunch of other organizations and groups on campus. So all around, it's just a great time. Vibes are always very high. It's the most excited group of people you could be with at Penn State. Everybody's fired up from when we get here Wednesday night all the way to when we break down 5 a.m. Saturday morning, and then all the way through the game. The energy doesn't die.
So I remember when I was a kid, the anticipation for Penn State football would always start on Wednesday, right? And kind of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in school were lost days for me. How do you get yourself out of the tent and go to class and still be a student and get it done in the classroom, but also, keep that excitement up for Penn State football?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's definitely tough. Every week, especially before home games and bigger home games, there's always excitement and there's always like football in your mind. But obviously, everybody's here to do school first. We're all students. The goal of every student here is to set themselves up for future success. So even though we're here and we're having a good time, you still have to manage all your extracurricular activities and still be a student. So I do well in the classroom, never miss class, get good grades. But also, whenever I'm not in the classroom and not doing work, I'm having fun making the most of my 4 years here.
All right, you hear that, Mom and Dad? He's getting good grades. He's in the classroom. We were talking off camera. You're a big sports guy. We know you're a Knicks fan. You were talking about the Roar Zone over in Pagula and how you're a big Penn State hockey fan. How did you get involved with Nittanyville?
Yeah, so actually my senior year of high school, I was at home and I wasn't sure where I was going yet. I'm from Long Island, New York, so there's no big state school in New York, and I knew I wanted to go to a bigger state university that has great academics and big into sports. So I was waiting to hear back from Penn State, and I was actually watching Sports Center, and I saw Coach Franklin and McSorley and Saquon out in Nittanyville, and I was like, if I get into Penn State, because it was my top choice, I'm like, I'm going to do this when I get up here. Got to Penn State, actually missed the first Nittanyville meeting because I didn't know where the last building was. Happened to sit next to my first math class, a kid who's one of my closest friends now, and him and some of the people on his floor were doing Nittanyville. So I asked if my roommate and I could join in their group the first week. Did it the first week, loved it, made a bunch of my closest friends up at school there, and then I've done it every week since, except for last year, of course.
So you had your first 2 seasons when you were here, your freshman and sophomore year, the lost season to COVID, right? But the team is off to a hot start this year. If you had to look back on your time in supporting Penn State football as a student and being out here in Nittanyville, what's kind of your favorite memory thus far?
Yeah, so I think my favorite memory thus far definitely I think was the Auburn week. Just that game was electric. Beaver Stadium was the loudest I've ever heard it. Obviously, it was a huge win. The team's been playing out of their minds right now, but I've had so many great experiences here. The 2019 whiteout, also the week-long camp out my freshman year against Ohio State, and then also just week 1 this year. Just being able to get back in Beaver Stadium after a year off where we couldn't, it meant so much. And I know for us and our board, we have a great board. We worked all throughout last year without having a big payday just because you were never able to go have fun. So to actually have it pay off and be able to be in the stadium week 2 while we're 1-0 after a huge win against Wisconsin, it was just unbelievable. So this year has been better than I could have imagined. Obviously, the team's playing out of their minds, and I think we got the best team in the country. So hopefully the boys will keep it rolling Saturday. I'm sure they will. And gotta go 1-0, beat Illinois.
Homecoming this week, right? Alumni all around the country. For some of them, for many of them, this is the one game they pick to come back to Happy Valley to celebrate their Nittany Lion heritage. What's your message to alumni about Nittanyville and about the spirit that students have for Penn State?
Yeah, absolutely. So homecoming's awesome. Obviously, Penn State is a school deeply rooted in tradition, probably more than any other university in the country. So it's always great having alumni back in State College and at all the road games, bowl trips. It's always great to see alumni. When you're here, definitely feel free to stop by Gay Day whenever. We love having alumni and older alumni come back and check in. It's always a great time to kind of connect the different generations of Penn Staters. I know when I graduate, I'll always come back and stop by. So feel free to stop by, hang out with us whenever we're doing. And then in the game Saturday, just like the alumni always do, stand up, be loud. We got the best crowd in the country, even outside the student section. And so much of it is because the alumni and fans are just willing to work, stand up all game, stand up for big third down. So there's nothing really to be said. We got the best alumni group in the country, in the world, and let's just keep it going.
Yeah, hey, we're going to get the big homecoming win this weekend,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Then we're going to go to Columbus and shock the world out
yeah.
there. What can students expect the environment to be like when you return to Happy Valley for Nittanyville after a big win in Columbus?
I think it will be absolutely nuts. Obviously, we got to go 1-0, focus on Illinois, just like Franklin says, then go 1-0, beat Ohio State. But that game, those games when we return will be unbelievable. You go, and if you go in and you take care of business in Columbus, we're the favorites to win the Big Ten. Go get revenge on Iowa and Indianapolis, because obviously we all know how that would have gone if Cliff didn't go down and PJ. But I think it will just be off the charts. Beaver Stadium for Michigan will probably be louder than Auburn or any other game the stadium's ever seen. It'll just be unbelievable. I was asked a lot before Auburn, how would you describe a whiteout? And my answer is always, you can't put it into words. It's something that you just have to experience it. And if we go and take care of business in Columbus and this weekend against Illinois, Michigan will be on another level. It'll be something that even I haven't experienced.
The heartbeat of the best student section in all of college football are the students at Nittanyville. Matt, thanks for joining us on Football Letter Live.
Thanks for stopping by. Awesome having you guys.